Never, ever will that get boring. Hey guys, my name's CJ, welcome back to the channel. Now, for those of you who have stuck around with me for a long time, you'll know that I'm a massive retro car fan. Previously featured Sierra RS Cosworths on the channel, but this one incredibly special because this one is mine. 300 to 350 brake horsepower, this one. Super special, super clean. I cannot believe I've got it, and soon you will have the chance to win this too. So stay tuned and let's have a look. For me, this car carries a huge amount of nostalgia. My dad used to have a Sierra Sapphire, not a Cosworth, but there's still a lot of similarities and things that I recognise from literally just being such a young child. So the simple fact that I own one of these now just absolutely blows my mind. The engine in this car is stuff of absolute legend. The YB Cosworth engine, I really don't need to go into detail with, but let's take a closer look now at what this car's got.
The previous owner spent tons of time, effort and money to be able to put together a package that truly looks like it rolled off the Ford showroom yesterday. Running stage 3 old school tuning techniques, this thing is 300 to 350 brake horsepower from that huge Garrett turbo, Ali Rad, 500 intercooler, green injectors, Hart Plenum, and the list goes on. The forged engine features forged pistons, and you know that this thing is going to be good for eating up the miles. The 18-inch Compomotive wheels I think look absolutely fantastic on this car, and Koni suspension helps stick everything to the road. It's incredible how clean this car is, even so much as all the header tanks and things are all genuine Ford parts. Truly is impressive. Let's take it out.
Favourite things about this car is just letting that boost wind up, just listen to it and really, oh, never ever will that get boring. Oh wow, give me one of these over any brand new German stuff any day. You can really throw it into corners, wind that boost up. Oh. I think this is just going to be a whole compilation video of my jizz face. Oh. Nothing sounds much better than that Cossie engine on song. Really giving it some. They absolutely love it. This is a car that wants to be driven. I appreciate that these are just rising in value, but they're not museum pieces. This is something which you really should. I mean, I'm going to daily this car. I would daily this. I would have no problems in doing that, and there's nothing that makes me think with this car it's anything but reliable to do that. Honestly, the best that this car feels is when you're really kicking its head in. Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, it really holds up well and doesn't for once make me feel like I'm driving something at all fragile. If you've come here for a history lesson today, this video is not the one for you. I've previously featured a video with some Sierra RS Cosworths where I did go in a bit more detail just into the history of these incredible cars. From the moment you sit in these, it really feels like you're just going back in a time capsule. Just smelling inside this car, as crazy as that sounds, brings back like just memories of just being young and just good times. So I think we're going to head out this afternoon and make some new good times. What do you reckon? Oh, wow. Driving a car like this really does stay with you for the longest time. Just an absolutely amazing feeling. They just don't build things like this nowadays. Yeah, sure, it's a bit laggy. And yeah, sure, when you're driving it, perhaps it's not always the most stable around a corner if you're really pinning it. But would I change having something like this? Not at all. Really don't think there's much on the market today that would attract me for something like this. Don't get me wrong, these cars are insanely expensive now. If you want a nice Sierra RS Cosworth in a good condition, and you know, something like this, you know, you're not getting much change out of £30,000. But smiles per mile, I know it's a bit of a cliche, every single step of the way. She is creaky and she is squeaky. Build quality back in the late 80s I don't think is a touch on kind of what you can expect today, but let's be honest, I don't think anything made today is a touch on how this really is. So it's got a pretty decent clutch in this, rated to around about 500 pound-feet of torque. This is only, I say only, 350 brake. It's never really been on a dyno. Has got a built engine, just featuring some forged pistons, and it's only really covered little over 1,000 miles, so really is barely even worn in yet. It's not difficult to drive, it's not hard to drive. I think in comparison to a lot of cars nowadays, you just don't have the driver's aids. You know, there's no magic button that is going to save you, that is going to protect you if you do get the arse end out on this car. This really can be a sketchy car in anything but the drive. And even then, if I'm honest, second gear will still light up those tyres. The famous Cossie bog, you know, where that rear end just squats right down. You put your foot down in this and trust me, you're going to have to hang on. There really is no two ways about that. So this really is a retro car now. You have to think, this was made in 1989, this car, and I was born in 1989. I'm sat in the driver's seat. Seats are incredibly comfy, like genuinely probably 99% comfier than things that we have nowadays. You can't just get in and just smash it from cold. You really have to let this thing come up to temperature, take its time, but when she's there, it's an absolute beauty. That engine is an absolute masterpiece. So it'd be rude not to do another pull, right? So let's go. Let's go. Woo! What a machine. All the way to 30. How many people, tell me truthfully, do you sit in your car and you make those noises? Well, when you've got a car that still makes those noises, I guarantee you're still doing it, but along with the car. It's one of those things, I don't think 99% of you will get it, but you know, to me, if you're a real car guy, those massive wastegate noises, 100% you're doing it. When I think about a Sierra RS Cosworth, as far as what my memories are, aside from the fact that my dad had one, just, it reminds me of old school kind of meets down in Essex, Southend, and just seeing all these guys, just all old school Fords, just absolutely lighting them up. Just some of the best car evenings that I can honestly remember. So to now be driving down, well, Yarmouth seafront, I'm probably not going to be such a yob down here during the day. What's your experience with fast Fords? Stick it in the comment below. Previous cars you've owned, things that you want to go for now. I want to hear it.
Now it's your chance to win this incredible car. For a low entry price, head over to clickcompetitions.co.uk with the live draw coming soon. Good luck.